Hi, good morning. I'm Premankur. I'm an international trainer, and today I'm going to speak on a very important topic, that is how to motivate people. Now, before we talk about this topic and we really jump into the real climax, I just would like to tell you that this is going to be a series of videos on motivation, and this is going to be the first episode for that particular series. So today we will understand that how motivation works and who are motivators and how we can motivate people. But before we come to discuss about this important topic, I want to know that how many of you really think that motivation is important. I'm sure everybody must be thinking on the other side that yes, it is needless to say that whatever we do in our life, it requires motivation. And that is why you will see that most of the video which you find on YouTube nowadays are based on motivation. But still, we require a new video to watch. Why? Is that motivation is not something which stays for long? Or is it that every time we need to watch something or other to motivate ourselves? Let us understand. We'll come to this thing later. But first, let us understand that what exactly the word motivation means. Motivation means motive behind the action. So, some of my audience must ask me that, sir, can we motivate people? Or is it possible to motivate people to do work? I said, it is not possible. Why? Because motivation itself means motive behind the action. So how we can act for people, how we can motivate someone, unless we know that how a person can have a motive behind the action he or she will do. So my friends, before we talk about motivation, let us understand that what is the first step of motivation. So the first step of motivation is inspiration. And how one gets inspired? Of course, when a person sees something where he or she could relate himself with his own situation. And if we really find the level of interest for others, we are actually getting to the first level of motivation. Motivation can be categorized into two: external motivation and internal motivation. Now you may ask me that which one is more strong or everlasting? I will say none of them are everlasting. It is just the way how you see the motivation. So what are external motivation? External motivation can be rewards, it can be some kind of gifts, it can be anything which a materialistic world can assure you. So if you are thinking to get the bonus, you are definitely working hard, giving your best. You will find your employees are working hard and giving their best to get the best productivity for you. Or if you are a business manager, you are trying to reach your target to fulfill your goal. If you are a business owner, then you might be thinking that I will do the best to get more equity in market. But what is actually missing? Now, my friends, you might be thinking that the motivation is a word which is only for the people who are working, who are actually in corporate jobs. This is actually true for each and every human being in this world. Whether you are a teacher, whether you are a businessman, whether you are a housewife, whether you are a student, you need to motivate yourself. That's why every time we talk about motivating and we end up not getting motivated. There are several barriers of motivation, my friend. So today I will also discuss about those barriers. If you really want to get all these answers, I would request you to listen to this video till the end. The first level of barrier is when we try to motivate someone, we always want to realize that what is the ideal situation. So if you are basically always going with the ideal situation, example, maybe you are a manager or you are a teacher, you expect that your student or your workers should always follow the given set of principles or the instructions by you, and they should act accordingly. But how many times you find that they are really giving you the exact result which you have expected? You will find that there are very few occasions where you will be able to get the desired outcome as you expected. And you know the reason is that you have only gone through your ideal set of objectives. First, understand that what is the realistic situation. You need to realize that in the real scenario, how that person will work. So once you understand their real level of interest, and then you could have related your ideals with their reality, you will see that you will get better result. So if you are really trying to make somebody act and get things out of them, then you have to always understand that how you could relate your objectives with their objectives. And the moment you do that, you actually get the first clue of motivating people. Let us come to something else. Let me ask you a question, that how many times you have faced a situation, maybe when somebody is trying to push you for getting things done, or somebody is not really ready to understand what you are trying to convince, or maybe you are in a situation where you find it tough to convince. I'm sure you must have come across such situations regularly. But what is the solution? How we can get people do the things what we really want them to do? Yes, there is something which you need to understand. The first thing is, stop giving dirty directions. I've seen many people end up giving instructions. They give a lot of orders. They want people to do this and that. But we end up understanding that, are we giving them the clear set of instructions? Are we giving them the honest things they should do? I mean, are we really clear what we really want? So unless you clear your expectations, unless you clearly state your set of objectives, you cannot expect your followers, your workers, and the people to do the same thing. So if you are thinking about motivating people, you need to always clearly state the objectives, be honest to your set of expectations, and then you see it really can bring you wonders. As we know that nobody likes bossing in today's world, so you also need to understand that you might be trying to follow an ideal situation, but understand that what exactly is the reality, what is the ground reality, what exactly people expect. And once you understand and you respond accordingly, you see that people get inspired by you. I'll tell you one thing, that how we can make people charge up, how we can make people feel that they are really important, and how to understand that our motivation is going to work. The first challenge, which I have often listened from my clients, that they keep telling me that it is really necessary to ensure that we get the productivity out of the people. Some teachers keep complaining that students nowadays have different priorities and it is very difficult for them to get them do their task. Even some parents keep complaining that our children are really not listening to us, or they have a lot of demands. I'll tell you that before you think of motivating your audience or your people, you need to understand that how you are doing the expectation management. There was a time when parents used to also nurture their children by fulfilling their demands, and today, where parents are fulfilling or trying to fulfill each and every demand of the children, and sometimes before they even expect, they fulfill. So stop spoiling. Yes. So if you have to really motivate people, you need to also know that you should be able to manage the expectation. There is a golden rule of sales: give less expectations and more service. Yes, my friend. So that equally works when you motivate your client, your customer, or your student. So if you are really in the service, and if you are really want to interest in giving good business and getting people motivated, so you need to understand that the art of motivation is also managing the set of expectations. Now I'll finally answer that why still we find that motivation is temporary, and every time we have to search for a video or some speech which can motivate once again, recharge once again. So we actually see motivation as just as a kind of a mental frame. There are three things in life. It is almost like a tetrahedron. First, it is the physical point. Second, we have the emotional point. And the third is the spiritual point. So if you basically have something in mind, the first is that you have to get it done. So your psychology involves your physiology, and then gradually you try to get it done. But when you try to do it, do you see that you also have a connection with your spirituality? Yes. Why you do that work? Many of us do not know that why we are doing the work, or even if we know, we realize it for a particular moment. After that, we tend to forget because it somehow loses our focus, and then our priority changes gradually. So if you want to really keep on fueling your motivation, then you need to understand that motivation is just like a fire within yourself, and that should be keeping on and on. And in order to do that, you need to constantly recharge your mind with different kind of positive work, different kind of activities which can fuel the fire within yourself. And for that, you need to understand that what is your purpose. And the moment you can align your purpose with your activities, you will see that the motivation is everlasting, and you will not really face the problem of losing focus. So it is a constant conditioning of your mind and your body. So it's not that people sometimes come to me and ask me that I'm doing all good thing, I'm regularly going to gym, I'm doing a lot of workout, but still I'm not getting the kind of confidence. Or I'm in a good mental state, but still my body doesn't allow me to work harder. So it is a perfect synchronization between your mind and your body. So if you are just having good thoughts but no execution, then it is going to see definitely not the light of the day. And in the similar way, you have a lot of strength, a lot of stamina, but you don't have good ideas. So your energy, your stamina is end up doing nothing. So my friend, if you are really interested in motivating people, first you need to also understand that we need to be in the state of mind to motivate others. And for that, we should always motivate ourselves by doing the right thing and thinking the right thing. So when you have the right thing and when you have the right thoughts, you have actually the first level of motivating people. I'm sure like you have collected some information in this video about motivation. I'm going to take you to some further level of motivation in my next upcoming video. Till then, stay healthy, stay positive. Thank you friends for watching.